Okay, today we are going to do pivot. Okay, how to convert column to row, row to column. Okay, for example, if I'm having my data like this, item, and then description 1, description 1, description 2, description 3, for example. So let's take mobile. Okay, so in mobile we have a lot of operating systems, right? So iOS, okay, Android. Let's assume, yeah, Huawei is another operating system. They have their own operating system. Okay, similarly, if you take okay, so similarly, if you take, for example, TV, we have a different companies, right? So we have a MI, LG. Just taking simple examples. Okay, so let's take Nokia. Okay, so these are the this is a normalized data. Okay, so there are no duplicates in this data. This is a normalization. This is called. But what if I want output like this? I want output. Okay, if business people see this kind of data, they won't be able to understand. So they will say, hey, convert it to a different format like item and then description. Just create two columns and send me the output like this. Okay, iOS, again mobile. So for every description, they want a row. Okay. Okay, so if you take the second row will be converted to 3 rows. Okay, TV and then first company, TV and then second company, TV and then third company. Okay, this is called denormalization. My data is denormalized, so that means duplicate records are there in denormalized data, but it's a more meaningful. When you look at this data, this is a normalized data. In the normalized data, you will not see any duplicated data. So yeah. So if I maintain my data like this in a table, so I can save a lot of memory. But if I store data like this, it will consume more memory. So if you observe employee data and department data, so here what is the meaning of the department number 20? There should be some meaning, right? So 20 means it's a research department and it's in Dallas location. Okay, instead of maintaining 20, I can have another two columns and I can maintain it, right? So here okay, instead of maintaining 20 here, I can have a D name, which is a research, and then D location. I can create another column called D location, and then I can have a Dallas. Okay, but if I maintain same thing, like if I maintain research Dallas, I need to maintain 5 times for department number 30. Sales and Chicago, I need to maintain. I need to repeat it 6 times. Okay, so but I want to normalize my data instead of maintaining accounting and New York 3 times, research and Dallas 5 times, sales and Chicago 3 times. Just create another column. So make the relation between two tables. Department number is a common key. So here and here. Whenever you want it, you simply join and bring it. So how do we generally, if I want department name and location, how do I get it? Select E dot star comma D dot star from EMP E inner join DEPT D on E dot DEPT number equal to D dot DEPT number. Okay, you see here, let's remove these two columns. Why can't I maintain my table like this? You can maintain, but see, every record is repeated, so it's a duplicate data. So let's assume if you are storing same kind of data for 1 million records, it is going to occupy a lot of memory. Okay, to avoid that only, we have a two separate tables, one for department and one for employee. Whenever you need it, you simply do a join between department number and you get it. Okay, that's called that's called normalization. So this table is normalized now. So we are trying to avoid the duplicates for department name and location. Similarly, we can create another table for job also. Maintain IDs here 1, 2, 3. Let's put for clerk you can have 1, salesman you can have a 2, for manager you can have a 3, analyst you can have 4, president you can have 5, and instead of job clerk you can maintain numbers. Okay, that will be more normalization. Okay, but if I come back to our if I come back to our scenario, I want to convert column to rows here. Okay, so this is my input. I want to convert it to normalized format. So this is a denormalization and this is a normalization. Sorry, above one is a normalized data. The output is a denormalized data. Basically, we are converting column to row. See, each and every column is converted as a row. Horizontal conversion. Horizontally, we have converted. Okay. So you guys understand what is the input and what is the requirement, what is the input and what is the output? Are any doubts here? You guys can hear me, right? One.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand the input? What is the requirement here?
Yes.
Okay. So let's design a data stage job. So first create a one file. Okay. So create a file. Control C. I'm going to create a one file in my DS input folder. So right click. New text document. We'll put HPIVOT. HPVT. HPIVOT. So this is my input. Okay. I want to convert it as a like H1. If I want to read this file in data stage, what is the first step I need to do? I need to import the metadata and store it. That's a common step, right? Whether it is a file or table. First, for the first time, you need to import metadata and store it. Whenever you want it, you can use it. So let's try to import metadata for file. Let me log in. It's taking time. Just give a minute. So we are going to convert columns to rows. In the next job, we are going to convert rows to columns. Other way around. So this is a horizontal pivot. Whatever we are going to do now. If we do reverse pivot, that is nothing but vertical pivot. What is the opposite for horizontal? So vertical, right? So first step is first step. What is the first step we should do? you import the metadata. Is a read the file. Third step would be use horizontal pivot. Okay. Fourth step would be save output file. Okay. So importing metadata. So it is a common step. Import table definition sequential file. If it is a file, text formatted file, so there is no option. You have to go for sequential file only. So where is the directory? So if you go to C documents raw1 desktop ds input. Okay, press OK. So I'm asking show all the .txt formatted files. So it is showing. So hpot. This is the file. Import. When you click on import, you need to tell what is the properties of this file. What is the field separator here? Pipe. Pipe symbol is a field separator. So you need to click on that other delimiter and give a pipe. You can't give this tab space or comma. Okay, you have to give a whatever is the delimiter, you need to choose that. If it is not there in this delimited list, you need to just type that symbol. That's it. So here, do you have a first line as column name? Yes, these are the column names. I have it. First line is column name. You tick it if you have it. If you don't have it, you don't need to tick that option. Okay. So define. Go if you go to define, automatically column names will be detected, and this is how data stage is going to read. So it is reading properly. There is no issues. Okay. Item description 1, 2, and 3. Nullability is no. Generally, we keep nullability as S for all the rows. Okay. Excuse me. So change it to S all the time. Okay. If there are any nulls coming, for example, if there is no value here, it will become a null and that will lead us to drop a row. So make sure you select it as S. Okay. So we have a separate class on nulls, how to handle nulls. I will show them. But for now, just follow this standard. Okay. Whenever you are reading a file, we keep nullability as S by default. Okay. And then press OK. So this structure, we are just storing the table structure. Okay. This table structure will be stored in a here. This is the path where the structure will be stored. Let's go and check. Table definitions, sequential, ds input, h pivot. Columns, see item description 1, 2, 3. Format, the pipe you have imported. When you imported, what was the format? Pipe and all. Okay. Let's design a new job. So the first step is done. This is done. Now read the file. Second step, file, new parallel job. Okay. In the parallel job file, we need to read a file. So sequential file is the input. Processing, we have a pivot. Okay. So pivot supports only horizontal pivot, but pivot enterprise supports both horizontal and pivot. First, let's learn pivot and then we will come to pivot enterprise later. Okay, 1 second. Okay, output I will store it in a data set. Okay. So how do I need to link them, right? So take the link from the general and just drag the link, drag and drop the link. Or else you simply hold your right click and drag and drop. That will also work. Okay. So read this file. So where is my file? Browse for a file. Yes input. Okay. This is the file. Do you have a first line? Yes. First line is column name. Yes. What is the format of the file? So pipe delimited. Delimiter is a field. Field delimiter is a pipe symbol. Do you have a quotes for your data? No. What is the quotes meaning? If my data is having something like this, we need to tell data stage, do you have a quotes or not? So here I don't have any quotes. That's why I'm selecting no. Field defaults, I said they will handle the null values. Null field value as a two single quotes. Okay. That's a standard while you are reading sequential files. Go to columns and load the table structure. Table definitions, sequential, Ds input and H pivot. Okay, good. I have given all the properties, file name, format and columns. Okay, so let's click on view data. Make sure it should be able to, data set should be able to read this H pivot file from your operating system. If it is able to read, then only you have given correct properties. Otherwise, something is wrong. It will throw error if there are any issues. Okay, see here, data set is reading properly. That's how you can confirm you have given correct properties. So now we need to set up the properties. So this is done. Second step is done. So I'm using a high, I'm using a pivot stage to convert. Okay. Now go to pivot properties. Input columns. How many columns you are having? 4 columns. But output I need only 2 columns, isn't it? Go to output columns. Okay. So what is the first column? It's a item. So do it manually. So copy the column name. Item. What is the SQL? It's a varchar. What is the length? It was a 255. Whatever is it showing input, say do same thing. So item varchar 255 S and 6. S and 6. Okay, so here you don't need to worry about Unicode. Okay, so don't worry. If you want, you can select it. Unicode is to handle the special characters. Okay, for example, Arabic characters. Okay, any Spanish characters. So we don't have any Arabic or Spanish, so you don't need to worry about it. Unicode option. But I don't need all these columns. I just need only one column, which is I just want a description, DESC. Okay, what is the data type you want? I want a SQL type as a varchar. So drop down and select varchar. What is the length you want? I want length as a 50. That should be fine. Okay. Nullable is yes. Okay, what do you want to, which columns you want to convert? So here you see derivation. If you, in the derivation, you need to tell what is the column name. You want to convert it to description. So you need to put description 1 comma, description 2 comma, description 3. So what data stage will do? First description value will be shown as description. Description 2 will be shown as description. Description 3 will be shown as description. So like a data stage will run a loops for every column. Here they have 3 columns, 3 loops will run for every row. This is a constant value. Okay. Click OK. That's it. All you need to do is you need to create a new column in the output tab and then pass what are the columns you want to convert to as a pivot, horizontal pivot. So let's save the output file. Browse for file. In the DS output folder, you save it. H pivot.ds. That's it. Job design is done. Compile it. So it will ask you to save the job. So go to jobs folder and do H pivot underscore job 123. Okay. Okay. Close it. Run it. Okay. Input I have given 2 rows, output is 6 rows. That means my job is working. So this is my input. Input how many rows I am having? 2 rows. Output how many rows I have received? 6 rows. That means it's correct. Let's validate it. Right click. View data. Mobile. Okay. What is this? Description. Item is correct. Okay. Description is displaying only one character. Something happened for description. Output columns description. Okay. What is the length? Length I have selected 255. Okay, 50. Okay, 50 is more than enough. Display. Why it is displaying only one character? Let's display how many characters? Okay, let's display 10 characters. Okay, I'm just recompiling it again. You don't need to select any display. I think somehow it's truncating the characters. It is giving I, H, and M, L, and N. I, A, and H. Okay. Why it is showing only one character from each and every value? So let's check here. So what is happening in here? Input columns, it's a item. Okay, varchar 255. Output columns, let's select same length. Okay, 255. Okay, instead of giving that. Okay, 255 only I have selected. It's a, let me check what is the input it is showing. Input was showing properly. Okay, somehow, but when it is going to when it is going, so something is happening. What I will do is I will remove the Unicode option, and then I will change the length to 25. 25 is enough. 255 characters are not there. So 25 should be good. Then 25. Okay. So when it goes to pivot, input columns is having, okay. Output columns. Okay. Let's put 25 and then 25. Okay. So go to file, and sometimes it does behave weirdly. So go to file and do force compile. So it's a forcefully it will compile the code on the backend. If there are uh, any any length or anything is persisting on the backend, it will remove. While importing metadata also you can change it length 20 length nullability and all. Where I change the nullability, there see Now it is working. So it is something to do with length. Length was getting truncated due to some issue. Okay. So here when you are importing, so I will show you properly again. So import, while you are importing table definition, make sure you give a small length on it. So here you see here length you just give 25 should be enough. Okay, 25. Okay, generally these lengths will be given as along with your requirement in real time. Okay, press OK, so it will import it. Are you sure you want to overwrite? Yeah, I'm overwriting. So it says existing same name, existing table text is there. I just overwritten it. So simply you can use that. Okay. So that's about horizontal pivot. Okay. So yeah, any doubts in this stage? In the horizontal pivot? This one. Any doubts in this? We converted rows to columns. Okay, right click and show statistics. It will show how many rows, 2 rows and 6 rows to the output. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, cool. So let's do same thing with the pivot enterprise stage. So pivot supports only one kind of just this pivot stage will support only horizontal pivot, but pivot enterprise will support both horizontal and vertical. What I will do is I will take the copy of same job, right click on the job and create a copy. So I don't want to touch my existing job, but I want to create a new job from there. So you see it's created copy of job. Double click and open. So all I need to do is I need to delete this stage and keep the pivot enterprise. That's it, right? Let's select the properties now. Input. Okay, stage. First go to stage properties. What kind of pivot you are doing? Horizontal pivot or vertical? Horizontal I'm doing. I want to do same thing whatever I did in the previous chart. Horizontal. Okay. Go to input. Okay, input is having 4 columns. Now go to output. Sorry, in the stage properties only, you need to go to pivot properties. That would be the second step. First step would be selecting a type of pivot. Second will be pivot properties. Okay. So here, how many columns? Item varchar 25. Okay. So here also you need to type manually. Make sure you select, give the same column name. Item varchar length is 25. Okay. Second one, stage properties. You need to select description. DESC varchar 25. Okay. So what is the derivation for description? Previously we have given column name 1 comma, description 1 comma, 2 comma 3. Here you don't need to type that. Here you see 3 dots. 3 dots. Okay, just send the columns in a order which you want to convert. Select the 3 columns and send it to right side. So now you see description 1 comma 2 comma 3. Automatically it recognized. Okay. So I just avoided typing. Okay. Go to output and take only item and description. That's all you need, right? You don't need description 1, 2 or 3. All you need is item and description. Okay. Let's compile and run and see the output. Close. Okay. Input is 2 rows, output is 6 rows. So I have achieved same output from 2 different stages. One is pivot, another one is pivot enterprise. See? So yeah, this is the required output. Now I want to read this as my input. I want to read this as my input. I want to convert it to original as my input. Reverse format. I want to convert this to this. If I want to read this data set, I need to store the metadata of this data set and use it somewhere. So I need to save it. So open a data set and go to columns and save it. Where do you want to save it? I want to save it under table definitions. Create a new folder called data set. New folder, data set. Okay, under data set folder, it's saved. Table structure is saved. There are only 2 columns, not many columns. Double click and open to see. Here you have only 2 columns. Okay. Excuse me. So let's read that as an input and convert it to output. So I need to create a new job, file new parallel job. My input is, what is my input? Input is data set. Processing pivot enterprise. Output file would be sequential file. Okay. Okay. So let's browse for a file. It's in DS output. What is it? Hpivot, right? Hpivot.ds. This is the file name. And if you go to columns and load the structure, whatever you have, you just saved it. Okay, press OK and try to view the data. Make sure it should have a 6 rows. Okay, so good. I'm able to read the file, input file. So now you need to convert, you need to do a vertical pivot. So type of pivot should be vertical. Then if you go to pivot properties, okay, so here you see what is the columns. You just load the same table structure. If you click on it, automatically structure would be loaded here. Okay. So what is the group key here? So in this, what is the group? So mobile is nothing but one group. TV is nothing but one group. Okay, but they have different descriptions. So here my group key would be item. Item is a group. So what is the pivot? Pivot column. What is the pivot column here? Description is a pivot column. Okay. So you need to tell data stage this is my pivot column. Okay. How many times you want to convert? How many times you want to iterate the loop? 3 times. Okay. Mobile has 3 values, TV has 3 values. So you need to select a 3. Array size should be, you have to give array size as 3. That means for every row 3 times loop will run. For every column will be converted as a 3 different, sorry. One group will have a 3 loops. Let's assume in C language you write a loops, right? For loop and while loop. Similarly, data stage will execute loop on the backend, but it's all giving you GUI options. But it is asking how many times you want to run a loop. 3 times you run a loop. Convert 3 columns to one single column. That's what you are saying. Okay. So go to output. If you see, automatically there are 3 columns created. Description 1 and description 2. Pass the columns to output and run a job. Save the output file. Browse for a file. The DS output I'm saving reverse pivot, right? So v pivot dot txt. First line is column name. Yes, I want it. Format, I want null field value as 2 single quotes. I want delimiter as a pipe. Quotes, no quotes. Okay. Compile. Save the job. V pivot Okay. Now it should read 6 rows as a input and have a 2 rows as a output. Then only our job design is correct. See here 6 rows to 2 rows. By looking at the number, I can tell my job design is correct or not. Right click and view data or go to DS output folder and try to open that output file. V pivot. See item description 1 and 2, mobile, iOS, Android, MILG, Nokia. So I'm able to do in the reverse format also. So all you need to remember is pivot stage will work for only horizontal, but pivot enterprise will do both pivot and horizontal and vertical. That's all you need to remember. Okay, it depends. Any doubts? The pivot.
If the array size is different, then how do we do it?
If you are having 4 columns here, you give array size as 4.
Like let's say they have different, like first one 3, next one 4.
Okay, that okay. For that we have a looping concept in transformer. That I have example for that also. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, if it is not a constant value, then we cannot really work. This stage will not work. You need to go for other stage where you
Oh,
can run a proper loop.
okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I have the example for that also. Transformer looping. I will explain that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but do you guys understand what is horizontal pivot and vertical pivot?
Yeah.
Okay, how about the rest?
Yeah.
Pawan, Prashanti, here is new, Pularav, Rajita, Sweta. You guys understand what needs to be done?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay. Yeah, you have to keep practice. Don't think that you can practice over the weekend. You will end up with multiple classes over the weekend. So let's say 5 classes. If you want to practice 5 classes on the weekend, you can't do it. It's better to do every day. Practice every day. Just spend 1 hour time. That's it. At least you should be. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, this is Sajita, sir. I still have some issues. So can I give you a text message like you're 9 o'clock or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can connect at 9 a.m. my time. Okay, in
Yeah,
1.5 hours. You can send
sure,
me.
sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So this is about pivot. Okay. Let's see what we can. Okay, let's talk about. If we are good with pivot, then I will move on to next topic. I will create a parameter set and we will talk about that. No doubts? I will take that as no doubts. Okay. So yesterday I created a parameters, right? Where did I create them? Aggregator. Sort. Did I create it in sort? Yeah. Okay. So in the sort stage yesterday I created. I have created parameters. Okay, these parameters are specific to this particular job only. But I don't want to type Oracle user, Oracle password, server, and path, input path, and output path in every job. I want some generic values which where I can use for whole project. Okay. So what you can do is select all these parameters with the shift button. Okay. Don't select only one. Select all the parameters. Hold your shift button and select all of them. So they should be in blue color. They should. Okay. Otherwise you will end up with only one value in parameter set. So I have selected all the parameters and I am saying create parameter set. You see, create parameter set. What is the parameter set name? It's a oracle underscore paths I'm having. I'm just giving ora underscore paths as my parameter set. Use it to use for oracle. It's optional and paths. Okay, you save it. Where do you want to save it? I want to save it under jobs folder, or you create a new folder. Create a new folder called parameter sets, and you save it under the parameter sets. You wish to replace the selected parameter set with the yes. Okay. Okay. So here all the parameters are converted into parameter set. If you want, you can view all the parameters inside what it is having. It is showing. Okay. So what I just did, I created a parameter set and I have stored the parameter set under my repository. And I will use this parameter set for each and every job. Wherever I want, I can simply call and use it. For example, let's close this. Open an aggregator job. So in the aggregator, let's assume aggregator job is not parameterized. So generally what we are doing, we are typing. So to avoid the typing, what I will do is I will go to my job parameters, add parameter set. Which parameter set? Whatever I just created. Okay. So here, instead of server Oracle typing, you simply click on here, you select the server, user, and then password. Okay. Similarly, here in the output file name, I like to use parameters instead of path. Insert job parameter and out path. See, so I am not doing any manual work. I even parameterized everything. So tomorrow, if my password changes, I can simply control it while I am running a job. Let's assume password has changed on the backend. So you can simply change the password in your parameter set. So that will prompt to each and every job. For example, if I change my default password here, that's it, right? So that can be moved to each and every job automatically. So if I am taking a new job, for example, to read the employee data, if I take database, so I don't need to type Oracle Scott user Scott password tiger. Go to parameters, add parameter set, open a stage. So you simply give here server, user, password. That's it. Same parameter set, I can use it multiple times in the project, within one project. So that is about parameter sets. Okay, so going forward, we will be using parameter set only. I will not use any browse for file and all. I will be using parameter sets only. So please make sure practice practice parameters first. Once parameters is done, you practice parameter sets. Okay. So here I replaced all the parameters with parameter set in this job. Oh, it's not. What happened? Okay, fine. Maybe I pressed the cancel. So simply remove all these parameters. Add a parameter set. Okay, good. So now go to Oracle connector. So now this was a parameter, but parameter set is difference between parameter and parameter set is, so parameter set dot parameter name. So now you see the difference. User and then password. Okay. So even I can change the path. Today I am storing it in today I am storing in one place. Tomorrow I will change my mind to store in another place. So I can't keep the constant value. So I need some dynamic value, which I can change it while I'm running a job. So that's why these parameters. Okay. So you compile and run the job. So it should work. The output, there is no change in the output. But instead of typing manually every day and keeping same path constantly, I just automated with parameter set. That's it. Okay. So yeah, output will never change. Whether you use a data stage, Informatica, Talent, or any other language. Concept of pivot. So you can do pivoting in whatever we did the jobs in pivot. You can do same thing in any other languages also. Okay. So tomorrow we will go with the. So you guys are good with parameter set? Or any doubts in parameter set? Rakesh, Rajita, Achyut, you guys understand what is parameter set? Why I am using parameter set?
If the password or something changes, if we change it in the parameter set, it automatically changes every place you're saying, right?
Right, yeah. So simply if you, let's assume your password is changed, you come to here in the parameter set and you simply change it here. So that will be propagated to all the wherever you are using the same parameter set.
Okay.
Okay, that's the advantage. And then to avoid the constant value.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, tomorrow we can have a funnel. So it is nothing but union and union all concept. And then we'll have to start the topic on. We'll go ahead with change capture also. Funnel and change capture. And then we will start joins. Join, merge, and lookup. Okay. So yeah, how is your practice? Are you getting enough time to practice or not? You guys practicing, so already we completed around 6 or 7 stages. How many we completed? Visual file, data set, Oracle connector, sort, remove duplicate, aggregator. What else we did?
Filter, copy.
Filter. Yeah. At least you should be aware of what is the functionality, and at least simple job should be able to design. Okay. See. So these three you will be using regularly. Okay. So but individually you guys learn these processing stages individually. Okay. So these three you don't need to worry much. But yeah, you have to practice these stages individually. Copy also is a simple stage. I don't worry about copy stage. But yeah, these stages you should learn what is the functionality. When to what is remove duplicate, what is filter, what is sort, what is pivot and aggregator. So these are the main stages. So we completed six processing stages so far. Okay. So if you want to do all these six jobs in over the weekend, you may not be able to do it.